This is the newsroom.
This is the newsroom for Tuesday, August 19, 2025. We're broadcasting to you on E1, SKAR TV NTN, and Tarzee TV in Bartica. In the headlines, President Ali vows a government shakeup from day one to ensure the PPPC's ambitious five-year plan is delivered with speed and efficiency.
The structure of government in the implementation will change. The evaluation also will change.
CANU Head James Singh says Guyana is being used as a major transit point for cocaine heading to Europe and West Africa. A deadly weekend of crashes claims the lives of women, children, and an entire family in Lethem. After 5 years of saving lives, renowned heart specialist Dr Mahendra Carpen now looks to serve Guyana through the PPPC. And in sport, relay bronze for Guyana Junior Pan Am and Jay's Racing Stable reflects unsuccessful outing at Guyana Cup. With the news, I'm Kurt Campbell. We're glad you can join us. First up, in just 2 weeks, Guyanese will decide who leads the country into what could be its most transformative years yet. President Irfaan Ali, who unveiled his party's blueprint for the next 5 years on Monday, says the ambitious plans must be accompanied by a high degree of efficiency, and that's why from day one, he will move to shake up the very structure of government. In an interview with the newsroom's Neil Marks, he says it's all about running a nimble administration, one that can deliver to ensure the PPPC's promises translate quickly into action.
Obviously you must have thought about your government and how you will implement it. I've heard you talk about efficiency and what has happened in other places to ensure that what you promise is achieved. What is your thought process about that?
So that's a brilliant question, Neil. Definitely the structure of government will change drastically. You will see a government that is very nimble, but a government that will be bringing in every level of skill that is required to achieve what we are setting ourselves by 2030. It's a very ambitious agenda. When you look at us wanting to move to manufacturing value creation for bauxite, moving to value creation on gold and on our forest products, creating two economic zones in Berbice and Wales Development Centre, building out that entire manufacturing or agro-processing industrial ecosystem. It requires skills, and it requires a government that where bureaucracy is removed. So I'll be very reliant on technology to remove human biases. We'll be bringing in a lot of skills, the structure of government in terms of areas with different responsibility. There definitely will be changes as to what areas of responsibility are placed where and how those responsibilities are going to be assigned to ensure the efficient delivery of what we want. Silica City by itself is a 10-year minimum, a 10-year project, and we are ambitiously trying to get that done within the next 5 years. So there will be, I would say, in project language, a projectized approach to governance, where you're temporarily bringing all of these resources together for permanent results. So everything is run in a projectized manner, where time, efficiency, measurement are all critical indicators. So the structure of government in the implementation will change. The evaluation also will change. Because as people's salaries increase, their life will improve tremendously. People need to be held accountable. People need to be held accountable for the quality of service they deliver, the efficiency in the system, and technology will help us to do that. And that is where I think our human capacity and capability would also be invested in, so that we can deliver this program that we want to deliver. But accountability, transparency, removal of bureaucracy, building an efficient system, all of that would be part of this plan of reorganization. And that will be done on day one. We already have what that structure would be like, and the type of capacity and capability that we need to advance this program and this massive plan. The integrated infrastructure plan alone, that in normal circumstances, a 15, 20-year program that we'll try to bridge. We're not talking about one power plant, now a second power plant at Wales. We're talking about bringing the best in data center and data services here, attracting those type of investment. So from the investment side and investment promotion, it's also a lot of work. Tourism is going to be a major sector that we're going to invest in heavily, like we're going to do in agriculture. So it's going to be a high-paced, high-speed environment, and we will definitely be bringing in, reorganizing the structure of government.
You can watch the full interview tonight on E1, SKAR TV, and on Newsroom's Facebook page and our YouTube channel. Head of the Customs Anti-Narcotic Unit, CANU, James Singh, has revealed that the majority of narcotics entering Guyana originate from Venezuela, with much of it destined for international markets in Europe and West Africa. Speaking on this week's episode of the Safeguarding Our Nation program, Singh stressed that Guyana is not a producer of cocaine, but due to its geographic location, it's increasingly being used as a transit point by drug cartels.
That Guyana is not a producer of cocaine. Guyana, because of its geographic location, is caught between the suppliers in the Andean region and consumers on other continents. In the past, we've seen drugs enter Guyana and then transship through Guyana, through the Caribbean basin towards North America. Recently, there's been a shift. Now drugs are still coming into Guyana and then transship towards West Africa and Europe. The reason for that is what one can say the balloon effect. As a result of law enforcement presence and patrolling within the Caribbean basin, that has somewhat deterred traffickers and posed more of a risk to them. So what traffickers do is look for the path of least resistance. Coupled with the fact that there's a greater demand in Europe, there's better prices in Europe and less risk. It's just across the Atlantic. We've seen traffickers now take advantage of that. How are they doing it? We're seeing low-flying aircraft coming into our territory. We're seeing maritime vessels coming. We're seeing the contamination of containers after they've left Guyana, as well as the construction of low-profile vessels, not to mention semi-submersibles. The routes. The majority of drugs comes into Guyana, again, from Venezuela. It doesn't help that it's a narco state and claims 2/3 of our territory, but it comes from Venezuela by plane or by boat for the transship. Some is remaining here, and as I said, some is transshipped, the majority being transshipped to other territories. We're working through informants, undercover operations, sharing of information again from our colleagues overseas, as well as working with various communities. We can't fight alone. We're fighting an enemy on different fronts. It's a network. And so partnerships are key. And I stress the importance of it, not just from a unit standpoint, but the confidence in Guyana, in the government of Guyana, to ensure that we do not become a narco state, that we do or give our all to fight drugs on every level.
A total of 10 persons have died after being involved in road accidents within the last 4 days. The victims include women and children. In one case, an entire family died in Lethem, Region 9.
Between Friday and Monday, a total of 10 persons died after being involved in 6 different road accidents across Guyana. Majority of the accidents were caused by speeding, and the victims range from a toddler to senior citizens. In the early hours of Saturday along the Suzaik-Linden Highway near Lou Creek, a car driven by 26-year-old Mario Campbell collided with a parked truck transporting wooden materials. Police said the truck lacked reflectors and the driver was not licensed to operate such a vehicle. Campbell, who was reportedly speeding, survived with serious injuries, but his 7-year-old son, Maranzo Campbell, and 2 other occupants, 26-year-old Shelley Joseph and 25-year-old Kieron Wills, all lost their lives. The next day, 3 more lives were cut short in Region 9. On Sunday, a family of 3 from Yakarinta village, Jagnarine Stephen, his wife Kyria, and their 2-year-old daughter Laurel perished on the Lethem trail when their motorcycle collided with a minibus. Police said the motorcycle was speeding while the minibus was negotiating a turn. By Monday morning, an unidentified pedestrian was killed on the Montrose Public Road on the east coast of Demerara after running into the path of a car. The driver of the car initially fled the scene but later returned and is in police custody. Also on Monday, a 72-year-old quarantine woman, Grace Light, died in another crash on the Dutch 4 Public Road on the east coast of Demerara. Police said she was a passenger in a car driven by her relative, Thaddeus Light, who was overtaken at a fast rate when he collided head-on with a truck. Both were injured, but Grace later succumbed while receiving treatment at the Georgetown Public Hospital. Police headquarters also reported on Monday that 64-year-old Ava Braffett died on Saturday after she was involved in an accident on August 5th at Ogle, East Coast, Demerara. That accident involved a Russian embassy vehicle, a minibus, and Braffett's car. The woman's car was hit from behind by the diplomatic vehicle. Police said the driver, Nikolai Golivinov, was speeding. Adding to the death toll, another unidentified man died in a separate accident on the Rupert Craig Highway on Friday. The government in April began rolling out a new automated speed ticketing system to detect and issue tickets for speeding violations. The system is intended to curb road accidents and make the roadways safer in Guyana. It works on a 24-hour basis. It uses advanced speed cameras and radar speed signs connected to cloud-based infrastructure to detect and ticket speeding violations. For Newsroom, Isanella Patwo.
A new block at the North Rheinveld Secondary School, along with reconstruction works carried out after a fire gutted the institution in 2021, was commissioned on Monday by President Dr. Irfan Ali.
The commissioning of the reconstructed North Rheinveld Secondary School on Monday was timely as the school's 50th anniversary will be celebrated in September. The fire, which occurred on 19 June 2021, significantly impacted the institution, resulting in a reduced student intake to accommodate those displaced. The $566.9 million contract for the reconstruction was awarded to CARS Engineering, with consultancy services provided by engineer Marcel Gaskin. Other upgrades at the school brought the total cost to $600 million. The reconstruction now paves the way for an expected 1,506 students to be accommodated in the new school term, along with more than 53 teachers and auxiliary staff. President Dr. Irfan Ali, speaking at the commissioning ceremony, said the school is better equipped to deliver a rounded education to every child enrolled.
The North Rheinveld Secondary School will be fully equipped to provide the kind of comprehensive and balanced education that combines strong academic grounding with practical hands-on learning. With modern science labs, smart classrooms, and technical workshops, students here will have access to the tools and facilities needed to excel.
He added that students will have access to the tools and facilities needed to excel in areas that give them real-world skills and knowledge. The reconstructed block now houses an information technology room, management, clothing and textiles classroom, industrial arts classroom, smart classrooms, a library, and science laboratories. A large athletics track will also be constructed near the school soon.
We have decided that we are going to invest in a 300-meter athletic track out there. It will be the first of its kind in Georgetown. At the center of that track will have a full FIFA-certified football pitch as the one in Manora. And we will have investment for basketball, volleyball, and tennis at the back of the facility.
Minister of Education Priya Manikchan noted that the school recently recorded a pass rate of 85.06% at the Caribbean Examinations Council CXC examinations. She emphasized that significant investments in schools are boosting children's ability to learn.
We're here with a rebuilt school, and it's going to be even better than it was before. But this school has a history. In your 50 years of existence, which will be celebrated in a few short weeks by your alumni or students association and the current student and teaching body, this is the first school in Guyana. This is the first school in Guyana in 2015 that we put a smart classroom in.
In August 2022, the sod was turned for the reconstruction of the building, and the infrastructural works were completed last year. For the newsroom, Lazina Yearwood.
The governing People's Progressive Party Civic, PPPC, on Monday afternoon unveiled its 2025 manifesto. The 65-page document lays out what the party calls the most ambitious agenda for national transformation in Guyana's history, touching on everything from education, housing and healthcare to infrastructure, oil and gas, and agriculture.
Scores of persons from across the country, including entrepreneurs, farmers, and officials, turned out for the launch of the People's Progressive Party Civic (PPPC) Manifesto. Party leaders, cabinet ministers, diplomats, and supporters sat shoulder to shoulder, united under the red banners of the PPPC. In grand style, the launch was held in the conference room of the new Pegasus Corporate Suite in Georgetown and saw one plan after another rolled out. These measures, all aimed at improving the lives of every Guyanese, were welcomed with loud applause. In his address, President Dr. Irfan Ali outlined sweeping commitments. Among them is doubling the Because We Care cash grant to $100,000 per child, a new $100,000 transport grant for families, 12 new hospitals, and 6,000 additional nurses, along with 40,000 new homes.
It is not empty rhetoric. This is a declaration of intent. It is a blueprint for development, and importantly, it is a pact with the people. This is not about song bites and one-liner. This is about actionable, achievable policies and programs all aimed at uplifting the lives of every single Guyanese. We, in developing our strategies in the PPP, never develop strategies to appeal to tribalism and ethnicity. That is not what the plan is about. The plan is about development, advancing every Guyanese, advancing every sector, creating opportunities for every sector, incentivizing the system to promote growth, expand businesses, create jobs, and develop our country to its optimal.
The 65-page document also promises to halve electricity costs with the gas-to-energy project, expand local food production with more than 100,000 new acres of farmland, and strengthen security through more police stations and a wider Safe City CCTV network.
I want to say that we speak in this plan to a vision. And importantly in this plan, you will see that we have placed targets in the plan because we believe that we must have verifiable indicators. We must have indicators and targets that the people can measure our performance against. That is why we're the only party that can campaign on a track record, because when you look at the indicators, you can verify that we have delivered. We are a government of delivery.
With these promises, the PPPC is banking on convincing voters that it has the ability to steer Guyana for the next 5 years. However, the ultimate decision rests in the hands of the voters on Election Day come September 1st, 2025. Reporting for the newsroom, Sharda Bacchus.
More news ahead. Stay with us. Welcome back. This is the newsroom. For over a decade, Dr Mahendra Carpen has been serving Guyana, providing expert cardiology and internal medicine care to the population. Now, he's taking a leap into politics, and during this week's episode of the Starting Point podcast, he talks about his decision to join the PPPC. Dr. Carpen is listed as a candidate for the upcoming general and regional elections. For him, the move into politics is not a departure from his service in the medical field, but an expansion of it to Guyana.
Whatever I have been able to accomplish in the field of cardiology, I think it's only fair that I recognize my team members that have stood with me, not behind me. They've stood with me along the way, and those who would have played pivotal roles in training me and getting to this point. So whatever accomplishments stand now, it's because of the team that's been backing me all these years. And I see the step into politics as just an extension of service. And it's you serve your country one way, you can serve it multiple ways, and you can do them at the same time. And I believe my role and service now is to help re-elect a government that I believe is taking the country in absolutely the right direction when it comes to healthcare and many other aspects of nation building. So that's my reason for stepping in. It's very interesting in terms of its politics. And you mentioned the power to effect change. Power is a responsibility, and you can step up and accept that responsibility to make the changes that you want from the inside, or you could stay outside and complain and criticize. But I've always been impressed a long time ago by a speech that President Roosevelt would have given at the Sorbonne in France, when he talked about the man in the arena. And that's the guy you want to be able to lead things and to be able to effect change. The one who's willing to get there and to get dusty, to get dirty, to take the licks, and even the criticism from those who are in the stands high up. And, it's an impressive thing. It's daunting, but you have to be able at some point to put your fears and timidity aside and to do what you believe is right and what is correct. And at this point, I believe that the trajectory and the rate at which we are growing, it demands a continuation of current leadership. And to deviate from that, I believe, would be catastrophic for growth and development.
Phase 2 of Silica City is already attracting significant attention from Guyanese living abroad, with many expressing interest in building their dream homes. Minister of Housing and Water Colin Crowell revealed in an interview with the newsroom the development, which already has nearly 120 houses constructed and several more nearing completion, is set to become one of the country's most modern communities, with the first residents expected to move in within a month.
In reality, Silica City in this upcoming period will take off physically more month than what you're seeing now. In terms of houses, we've of just under 120 houses that we have being built at Silica City, and we have many of them nearing completion. And so we have very sure, maybe within a month, we'll have some persons being able to start getting their houses. The diaspora has been expressing interest. We have been compiling such information of persons who have been expressing interest. We want them to come back and invest their resources too, but they're coming back from a different environment, and so what they're accustomed to. So this will offer them an area for them to be able to invest in terms of housing. So we have been compiling. We haven't implement in terms of with the diaspora physically, but they have been writing us. Some of them want to build their own dream kind of houses. They want the assurance in terms of you coming back to your country. You want security in terms of health care and that sort of thing that you're accustomed to where you're coming from.
3 journalists have been recognized for their outstanding work in promoting gender equality. Starbrook News reporter Khadija Ba won the top honor at the inaugural Women and Gender Equality Commission Media Prize with Miranda LaRose and Danielle Swain placing second and third.
Khadija Ba of Stabrook News has won the first Women and Gender Equality Commission Media Prize. Her feature told the stories of parents who lost children in the Madia dormitory fire of May 2023, which claimed 20 lives, 11 of them from the indigenous village of Maikopi. Second place went to veteran journalist Miranda LaRose for her profile on educator Jean Vifus. Third was awarded to Danielle Swain of Newsroom Inc. for her report on women in Maruca leading sustainable development under Guyana's low-carbon development strategy. Organizers urged journalists to go beyond stories of violence against women, highlighting the power of gender-sensitive reporting.
I understood how important it was to get the perspective and to be a part of the process of telling somebody's story from their perspective without any hidden agenda, without wanting to push a narrative. It was really the parents talking to me and me being that vessel or that middle person between them and getting their stories back out there. Dealing and addressing with these instances, I think more journalists need to just take the time to sit with their stories and acknowledge the process and the trauma that they experience.
In all, 9 journalists were recognized for participating. Organizers hope the awards will become an annual event, expanding across the Caribbean.
Guyana is repositioning itself as a key driver of healthcare development in the Caribbean, with support from India through a series of training and exchange programs, Health Minister Dr. Frank Anthony said on Monday. Dr. Anthony was speaking at the launch of the prosthetic limbs camp at the Ptolemy Reed Rehabilitation Center, and he said the initiative stems from an agreement between Guyana and the Polo Hospitals Group in India. According to Dr. Anthony, Guyana's collaboration with India could help address critical gaps in Caribbean healthcare, particularly in fields like rehabilitation, where training is limited.
We're also working with Apollo, getting some of their experts to come to Guyana. We are very pleased that Professor Sabal came and he spoke to us here about transplants, and hopefully we'll get more experts to come in. Recently, we also had 2 cardiovascular surgeons who came, one for pediatrics and the other one in adult cardiology. And they, apart from coming and talking to the doctors and nurses here, they were kind enough to also review patients for us at some of our clinics. And this kind of exchange is going to continue. But out of that arrangement, they have identified one of our surgeons who would now be going to India to do cardiothoracic surgery in India on a fellowship. So, and we've seen now there's a lot of interest in people coming to Guyana to get those types of training. And in areas such as rehabilitation, there's very little that is actually happening in the Caribbean. And I think if we work with you very closely, we would be able to develop courses and extend these courses to our colleagues in the Caribbean so that we can help them to build capacity in their own country.
When the newsroom returns, the financial, weather, and bridge reports along with sport. Welcome back to the Newsroom Sport. We start things off with some track and field news. Team Guyana added to its medal tally at the Junior Pan American Games in Asuncion, Paraguay, securing bronze in the 4x400 meter mixed relay on Monday evening. The quartet of Malachi Austin, Larissa McPherson, Simeon Adams, and anchor Kaliza Smith combined to clock 3 minutes and 22.30 seconds. They finished behind Brazil and Cuba while holding up Jamaica for the third place. The result marked Guyana's second Games medal following a bronze by swimmer Raekwon Noel. Earlier in the evening, Smith narrowly missed advancing to the women's 100-meter final after placing fourth in her semi-final. She clocked 11.45 seconds, just as 100th of a second behind Jamaica's Serena Cole, who sealed the third qualifying spot. In the field events, Anisha Gibbons placed fifth in the women's javelin, recording a best throw of 47.13 meters. Jay's Racing Stable had a sublime day of competition at Guyana Cup 2025 as they managed 4 wins and secured other podium finishes at the Rising Sun Turf Club. On Sunday, the camp expressed elation that their investment and hard work in preparation paid off.
This isn't the first time you guys are collecting trophies. So how does it feel to win this one?
This is probably the biggest race on today's card because it's a Guyana bred derby. And this was something I had my eyes on. And there's no feeling I can explain winning this race right now.
What was the preparation like and what gave you the confidence that you probably would have done it?
Well, we are confident everybody wants to win, but we put in a lot of work. The trainer, the grooms, the entire team. We built a very, very strong team. And the team put in a lot of work. We worked 24 hours a day on all the horses, and especially with Spank Me, who's a Guyana bred, but it requires a lot more work because she was locally bred, and she did great today.
The Athletic Association of Guyana, AAG, has laid an ambitious roadmap for the remainder of 2025. In a significant move to elevate the national team, AAG President Cheryl Hermanstein is scheduled to travel to Germany later this month. According to a press release from the AAG, she will hold discussions at Adidas headquarters from August 24th to the 27th with the primary objective of securing new equipment for the country's athletes. This initiative is crucial in preparing Guyana's competitors for the upcoming World Championships in Tokyo. Recognizing the importance of developing grassroots talent, the AAG will also begin preparing for the 2026 CANU Games on September 13. The 2026 weekend, Niall Stanton has been appointed to coordinate the preparations for this premier regional youth athletics championship. All-rounder Kimo Paul contends that the current Republic Bank Caribbean Premier League is of immense importance as he looks to salvage a once budding career plagued by injuries. He noted that his driving force has been his family and close friends. Now back to full fitness, he has a deep passion to not just pick up where he left off, but stay for a prolonged period.
I've been on the scene for a while now. I've always been in and out, and my career has always been plagued by injuries, I would say. That's very disappointing for me. I don't think that I've lived up to my full potential. For a while, I would say I had fallen out of love with cricket, you know. I was more so focusing on business and other stuff, and I wasn't quite zoned in and really living up to what I should have. But in those times out of cricket, personally, it was tough because, I mean, you're looking on the television, you're seeing guys that you played with at a certain level and now they're representing the West Indies, they're playing all over, and then you're at home sitting there, either you're injured or something. So mentally, it was not easy. But my family has always been very supportive of me, my wife, my mom, my dad, and I'm very close with my family. So whenever I'm around them, I'm really happy and I feel really grounded. So I would say they are the ones that, you know, that keep me firm and keep me steady and try to push me to find the love and the passion to play again, I would say. I hope this season, by God's grace, is a very good season for me, and I have to make that happen. So, you know, I'm training and I'm trying to put the work in to try and be different, you know, to try and hit the gym consistent, to try and put in more at my training sessions, whatever, and to just perform. I think I've been on this scene for a while now, and like I said, this season for me is probably a do or die, you know. If I don't have a good season, I don't know where I'll be next season. So I want to go out there and I want to give my best. And I think this season for me, I think the word for me this season is enjoyment, you know. Just trying to enjoy my cricket. Whatever comes, comes. So that's what I want to be this season.
3 from 3 are the Guyanese girls at the ongoing Caribbean Football Union Under-14 Challenge Series in Trinidad and Tobago. Their last triumph was securing a hard-fought 1-0 victory over Anguilla on Monday in Tier 2 Group C action at the Hazley Crawford Stadium, Trinidad and Tobago. A 7th-minute penalty from Bengamin proved decisive, sealing 3 points and pushing the Golden Jaguars into the competition's knockout round. This follows their 2-0 win over Turks and Caicos Islands and 2 over Antigua and Barbuda. Their final group match is against the Cayman Islands, followed by the semi-finals. According to the tournament format, the 3 group winners from Tier 2 will automatically advance to the semi-finals. The final spot will be awarded to the best second-place team across all groups. And with that, we've come to the end of this newscast. On behalf of the news and technical teams, I'm Kurt Campbell saying thank you.